Hi class, in part 2 of our video today, we are going to continue talking about our translating expressions notes. So yesterday you watched the video and hopefully you have filled in some of these keywords that indicate to us whether we should add, subtract, multiply, or divide. And throughout the video I finished quite a few of the examples with you. We finished questions 1 to 4 on the front and a few of the questions here on the back. I did ask you to try to answer these even numbered questions on the back on your own, and in today's video I'm going to go over the correct answers for 6, 8, 12, 14, and 16 so you can ensure that you have the correct answers in your notes. We will also talk about the inequalities section here at the bottom of the page and review that topic with you as well. So, starting with number 6, as I mentioned in our previous video, we want to break these statements down into individual pieces. So we look for the keywords. In this case, it says the product of a number and 10. Product indicates to us that we're going to be multiplying. So we will have 10x, or 10 times x, and then we see the next key phrase, increased by, which tells us that we should be adding 1 to that expression. In number 8, we have two keywords, the keyword twice and the keyword divided by. So this says twice a number divided by 5. What this means is I'm going to multiply 2 times a variable. Whenever we see the phrase a number, that's where we want to incorporate the x. Divided by means that we're going to use the slash or division symbol, 5. Now number 10, I mentioned in the video yesterday, but I didn't spend a ton of time talking about it. If we look at number 12, it's a similar question. It says 5 times the sum of. Now, if you look back at the front side of your paper, you will notice that times the sum of appears here in our parenthesis area. All right? So what this means is I have to have parentheses in my final answer. There's a number that's going to be on the outside. In this case, that number is 5. 5 times the sum of indicates that I need to start a parenthesis. The word sum indicates that I'm going to be adding a number and 6. So x plus 6. The last part of this is 48. The keyword is, again, indicates to us that we should have an equal sign and then the number 48. For numbers 14 and 16, we actually will have two expressions set equal to each other. In number 14, we want to start with the first half, the product of a number and 3. In this case, the keyword is product. Product indicates to us that we are going to multiply. So 3x is the first half. Then we see the word is. Is indicates to us at this point we need an equal sign. Is the same as even further indicates that we need an equal sign. The sum of that number and 6. Well, in this case, the keyword sum tells us that we are going to add a number and 6. Again, we don't know what the number is, so we're using x as our variable. Our last example here says 4 less than the product of a number and 7. Okay, a lot of things to consider in this example. So starting out with the first half of the statement, less than. If we go back to our front page, it should be indicated to us that less than is known as a turnaround word. This means that the number 4 is actually going to come at the end of our expression. So 4 less than the product of a number and 7. Product tells us we're multiplying. So we will have 7x minus 4. Then we see that keyword is. This is our location for the equal sign. 8 more than that number. Well, 8 more than should jump out at us and tell us that we have to add. So 8 plus x. So if you had given those a try yesterday, please make sure that you have the proper answers for those questions in your notes for today. Moving on to the bottom half of the paper, we are going to talk about inequalities. So we had expressions and equations in the first set of examples. In this bottom set, we're going to talk about our inequality symbols. We have 4 inequality symbols, and just as the name tells us, it basically indicates that things are unequal or not equal. We have a less than sign. We have a less than or equal to sign. We have a greater than symbol and a greater than or equal to symbol. One of the ways I usually tell my students to try to remember the less than sign is think of it as an L. If you would make an L symbol or your left hand, it looks like an L, and less than begins with the letter L. So, in all of these examples, you will see that we are talking about a number. A number is less than -10. So, very straightforward here in the beginning. We don't know the number, so we have x is less than. We are now using inequality signs. So in this form, less than is our less than symbol, -10. Number 2, a number, that's x, is less than or equal to 8. Very straightforward, less than or equal to, we choose the proper sign, and we finish our inequality. Number 3 is very straightforward as well. A number is greater than or equal to -4. Now, be careful with number 4. This is a phrase students often get confused. A number is at most 45. At most means that it cannot be any bigger than 45. So our number has to be less than or equal to 45. Oftentimes students see the word most and they automatically think greater than. It's at most, so it can be no more than 45. Now for number 5, we need to think of the scenario. A speed limit of 55 miles per hour. You cannot go over the speed limit. So in order to write this in the form of an inequality, x has to be less than or equal to 55. Basically saying the speed we travel has to be less than 55. Now number 6 ties together with number 4. It's the opposite. A number is at least 16. So in this case, a number is represented with x. At least means it's going to be greater than or equal to. We want it to be 16 or higher for number 6. Now, 7 and 8, you'll notice, are opposite words. In number 7, it says a number is no less than 10. So what that means is we want the number to be bigger than 10. So x has to be greater than 10. In number 8, we have the opposite. A number is no more than 26. That means it can't be any higher than 26. It has to be less than. Now in number 9, we're comparing between 9 and 10, a maximum and a minimum. In number 9, if we're talking about a maximum number of 25 means that the number cannot be any bigger than 25. So x has to be less than or equal to 25. This is the exact opposite for number 10, where we say a minimum number of 5. A minimum number of 5 indicates to us that 5 is the lowest value, and we either want our number to be 5 or higher. So therefore, x is greater than or equal to 5. Please make sure that you have your notes completed for class the next time that we meet together, whether it's Thursday or Monday or even over our virtual day on Friday. You should have the front and back of this page completed, and I would encourage you to keep this paper out as you work on your homework assignment on translating expressions. Utilize the examples and the keywords to help you write the expressions on that assignment. Good luck. Have a good day.